my boss joined, so I'll forgive him. Shout out. Kafui, welcome. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
People go they do them. People go think say it makes serious. So,
Oh, I make
yeah.
serious. Why you go figure it?
Somebody will my helper. Somebody will for me my helper go think
The
say
the
yeah. Yeah.
You they can't block. You they can't block your blessings.
I'm shocked. Yeah.
the whole Ghana Kafui be the biggest.
E.
Make you no listen on
Make a
TikTok.
people don't hear you. Make a fuku a kufu don't hear you.
But on yourself no come with a new app they release. You not even reaching level. Like you not reach your level, but like
I just hope say no go see me
the
somewhere for somewhere
competition
like
and
no,
things
it's
where
not. I go wake up and just say them launch e-travel app and like I said the vice president wants to hear from me. Like, okay, now then they can't ask me what does your app do after they've launched it.
make it acquire. Oh good.
But sorry,
CTO
I
of the
hope the fun is
country.
good.
Mm. Every
Yeah, so
everyone is
when you meet,
fine.
so you can show us how to do the Swift and
Oh,
the Swift.
nothing
Yes.
better. So I think we all so since we're all here, we've all seen what we are going to talk about today. Right, and today I'm just going to walk through how I use ChatGPT to build projects. Right. So I'll walk through how I use it to build my portfolio and also how I use it to build mobile apps in Swift as well. So before I start, I actually like before I start like showing the AI part, I just like to do a little recap of actually why I started or why I decided to try using it in the first place. Right. If you joined yesterday's session that we had on UX Ghana, you know that we're talking about building your own products, and as a solo entrepreneur, and it was actually led by Kafui. So shout out to Kafui. Right. So then the whole idea is I have lots of design projects sitting in my Figma, right? And every time I try to get someone to build it, it never goes well. It's either it doesn't get built at all, or they kind of like get goes halfway through or something, right? So at the end of the day, it just keeps sitting in my Figma draft. So I decided to try my hands on learning Swift. So I was learning Swift and then just like coding here and there to build my own ideas. But then I realized that I could actually use ChatGPT to make it faster. Right. So I started taking a look just to explore. It was mainly for like exploration purposes, just so I can see what it's actually capable of. Right. So I started with, I think it was a breathing app, just a very simple breathing app that allows you to breathe, or it doesn't allow you, it actually like guides you. Right. So you breathe in for like 5 seconds, and then you breathe out for 5 seconds, and then you breathe in again for another five, and then you breathe out again for another five. It's just like a quick breathing exercise, and you can just continue exercise for as long as you want. Once you're done, you just stop it, and then you go on your way, right? And there's an app that I'm building right now, which is a Pomodoro app, and that one is also like a focus thing. I don't know if anyone knows of like the Pomodoro technique, but then it's this thing where you pick one particular task, you don't do anything else, right? You pick that particular one thing, and then you work on it for 25 minutes. And during this 25 minutes, that's the only thing I'm working on. You don't stop to check your email, check your WhatsApp, check Snapchat. You don't even get up to go photo. Nothing like that, right? You are just sitting behind your PC or whatever it is that you want, wherever you want to work at. Focus on this one thing for 25 minutes. And once you're done with the 25 minutes, you take a 5 minutes break. All right. So during this 5 minutes break, you can do whatever it is that you want. And once you're done with the 5 minutes break, you go for another 25, like that. So it's just to help you stay focused, right? And then also help you complete any tasks that you have in front of you. So that's the one I'm building right now. And I also decided to use it to build my portfolio because I checked my Framer analytics, right? And the way I had my portfolio, I was trying to show it, but then for some reason, Frema isn't uploading my projects. Oh, okay, I haven't started sharing my screen yet. Okay, cool. Frema is live now. So let me share my screen. And also, if you have like any questions or anything that you want to ask or anything you want to add, feel free to, you know, unmute and then free your mind. Right, so this is my old portfolio. I don't know if everyone can see my screen. I just hope everyone can see. Are we all good? Okay, all right, cool. So this was my old portfolio, which I kind of like had designed. I designed it in Figma and then I decided to build it in Framer. Right, so if you also want to try your hands on using Framer, that's also like a cool way to build your ideas as well. I know people do a lot of interesting things in Framer. People build games and all that. Right. Someone even builds like the Google dinosaur game thingy in Framer, and some. I know Samuel Alote has also done a Pomodoro thing in Framer. He's also done like a QR code generator and all that. Right. So just to give you an idea, people are actually doing interesting things in Framer. So if you want to use it to build your own product too, you can look into that. Right. So this was my portfolio that I had in Framer, but then the only one issue or the main issue here was that the way I had done the bottom navigation here wasn't really working properly because on smaller screen sizes it actually doesn't show. Right, it kind of like cuts or ends. The viewport ends a little bit above where the navigation is. So when people come on, they don't see the navigation and it's like they kind of get stuck. So a lot of people weren't getting past the home page. If I can see, yep, here, right. Okay, so if you can see here, for instance, right, for let's say for the past 30 days, 40 people visited the home page, right? But if you look at, there's a significant drop between, like the rest of the pages. So I kind of realized that, okay, cool, this is going to be a problem, like a very big one, if I am going to use that as my portfolio, right? And I also didn't want to tweak the design. I didn't want to change the layout of this particular page. So that was my main problem. Because I didn't want to do that, I decided to just throw it away and build a new one and build a new one, right? So I designed a quick one. So I designed a quick one here in Figma, right? I designed it very quick, something in Figma, and I didn't want to. I was about to use Framer to build it, right? But then the the cost involved, I didn't want to handle that again. Framer was charging me like 25 ish a month, $25 a month for like the workspace and hosting and some other plenty things. And I remember a conversation I had with Derek, right? And we're talking about his portfolio and how he was saying that it was actually like basically free, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me try building this thing in let me code it myself, code it and host it. Because in doing that, the only thing that I'll be paying for is like the domain name which I've already paid for, right? And nothing else essentially. So I decided to build it myself using VS Code, this bad boy here that you see on my screen. So for anyone who's not quite familiar with like code editors, VS Code is like one of the popular or the most popular code editor out there on the market, and this is where all the engineers kind of build the stuff that we design for them, right? So I decided to try my hands on it, and then in trying my hands on it, I decided to act like a complete beginner, right? So I came, open ChatGPT, and I kind of like just told it that, oh, I'm a product designer, right? I've designed my portfolio in Figma, and I want to build it using VS Code, right? I want to use JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and Tailwind for the project. So considering the fact that I am a complete beginner, right? It should walk me through a step-by-step process on how I can actually set up my portfolio project in VS Code. So it started by telling me, like, giving me links on how I can actually download and install VS Code, right? How I can install the various extensions that I need for the project, and basically also how I can set up the project file. So creating the project folder, initializing the project, setting up Tailwind. It gives me like the various commands that I need to run to install Tailwind. Then yeah, so like it gives me all that, and then it gives me a basic structure on for the HTML page, right? So so the basic structure that it gave me is mostly what I have here, right? What I have here, it didn't give me the fonts and then the images. Those ones I kind of like added later on when I got there, right? But this is what it gave me basically. So when I run the file, it just had welcome to my portfolio on it, like that. So now it was actually up to me to continue to actually like in start building it proper, so it would look like this, right? So why did I come back here? Yeah, so I decided to start with like the background color. Is it? Yeah, so I started with like the background color, told it to set it up for me, right? And then it told me what to do, how to apply it and everything. It even gives you like options on how you can actually like implement whatever it's telling you to do. So I followed it here, but it wasn't working, right? So it wasn't working, and I had to debug, find out why it wasn't working. So what I did was I just like copied the entire code here. I pasted it in here, and I told it to kind of like just take a look at the code and identify why it isn't working. So it did that, gave me a new way to do it, right? So I tried it, it worked, and then I continued. So I continued like doing like building, and I think one thing to that was helping me out was Figma's dev mode. So if you kind of like switch to dev mode, for instance, here in Figma, it gives you um, options if you want to generate it in if you want to generate like sample code in SwiftUI for iOS. So iOS, it gives you SwiftUI and UI kits. Those are like two frameworks that you can build in for iOS. Then it gives you Android as well, and then it also gives you CSS. So since I was building a web project, I decided to use CSS, right? So sometimes if I'm doing something I can't really like figure it out, I'll just like come copy the code um from Figma, and then I'll paste it in here. So for this one, for instance, I was like, okay, cool. I'm doing the navigation, right? For the navigation, it's in two parts. There's like the left side and then there's the right side. So this one, I'll just like come here, the text, come copy. So I'll select this guy here. I'll copy the typography properties, then kind of paste it here. Then the next element to copy like the information here, then paste it. So that's what I did for like all this for the left. So this is mainly for the left side here. These three elements here. Then I did the same for the right side as well. I did the same for the right side where I told it I described everything for it. Then it generated like the code for me. So once it generated the code, I would copy the code and then paste it in here, right? I'll paste it in here and then it'll run it for me. So over here, for instance, this is like the navigation that it gave me. And the good thing about it is that it also adds comments as well. So like it's adding comments, so I know exactly um where to go to if I want to change something. So this one for I know that okay cool. This whole block is for the left side of the navigation, and it contains like the name, the circle, and then the badge. The right side too. This is the information that it has, right? So it gives you all this. Then basically just copy the code and then paste it here. So it was more like a copy and paste thing. So this one I just want to show like if you have zero knowledge with coding at all, how you can actually get something built, right? So I even asked it like, okay, cool. What part of the file should I put the code in? Then it just like updates everything for you. So it just run the whole thing for me, puts the thing we're supposed to be in, and everything like that. Any questions on what I kind of like gone through so far, or are we good? All good. All right.
Yes, all good.
All right. Cool. Great. So yeah. So then basically, so this is what I was doing, right? This is me mainly like doing how I got the projects done. So once I finish with one part, I just like okay, cool. I want to move on to the next one, right? So the next one, how do I do it? And the next one, he wanted to like work on the font. So I said, okay, cool. This is the font that I'm using. How do I add it to the project? Then even gave me like how to download the font and add it to the project. Right. So it gives you like a complete breakdown, step by step flow of how to get it done. Right. So if over here so I was doing something I couldn't figure it out, so I just like asked it, and it'll give you a solution. Right. So you could just do copy. What part do I do this? Then it just gives you like everything you need to know. Right. All you have to do is just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Right. If you have zero knowledge at all, you can just follow like a copy and paste thingy and get something done. So this is what I was basically doing till I got the project built. Alright. So over here too, I think I was facing some issues with the fonts. I even like dragged the font files here, and then they looked at it, and it gave me how to convert it because I had to convert it to a web um, format. So it gave me like how to do that over here, and yeah. So I was just like continuing going through all the ups and downs, basically just prompting it to give me the information that I need to be able to build the project. Right. So that's all what we have here, and I'm trying to see if I'll find like how I prompted it to help me set up the Git and everything. Trying to see if I'll find that one. Check internet. Okay, yeah, I think over here I was having some issues because I was trying to push to Git and it wasn't working. So even like with Git, outside of like the normal code base, it was also giving me ways to solve the issue that I had here. So with this one, when I was pushing to Git and it wasn't working, I just copied the error code that I got, put it here, run the prompt, and then it gave me a breakdown of what to do. Right. So I just followed the prompt. The whole project here was me basically just prompting it to help me out here and there. And once, let's see, once you move from here all the way to when I was actually done, and wanted to what's it called, to host it. Right. Mm-mm. Enough. Okay. Uh, okay. So I think it was over here. So over here, I told you that now I think what I have is good enough, and I want to host it onto my domain, and I give it a domain name as well. And then what it did was it just gave me step-by-step instructions on how to set everything up. Right, so it gave me how to set everything up, and then it also gives you examples of hosting platforms. For me, I decided to go with Vessel or whatever they call it. Right, so I decided to go with that one, and even like for each platform that it gives you, it also gives you set how to set everything up in there as well. Right. So what I did was I basically just followed this on Vessel, and yeah, so I just created a new project, and with the new project you have to connect it to GitHub. So before you push it, it will be connected, and then you just like connect the GitHub repo. Yeah. So this was like the GitHub repo. So you just connect the GitHub repo to the project on Vessel, and then it will give you some instructions, some things that you need to set up. So you might need to set up some. Those ones were coming from Vessel, so I can't necessarily find them here. But then you need to set up some things for the project to actually work. So in my case, I had to set them up with Namecheap because that's where I bought the domain from. So I was basically connecting the domain from Namecheap to the project on Vessel, right? And everything was fine. Yeah, and I also wanted to add. Initially, I had a default. So when I hosted on Vessel, it had this black Vessel's logo basically as the fave icon. So I wanted to change that, and then I also wanted to add an open graph image. And the open graph image is the little preview of the website that shows on social media when you share the link. All right. So I told her, okay, cool, everything is okay now, but I want to add these two things. And then it gives me a breakdown of how to go about it as well. And it generates the code for you. So it generates the code, it generated the code for me, I added it. It also gave me the dimensions for the open graph image, and then I think, yeah, so I just like did something here in Figma, exported it and pasted it in the project. Pasted it in the project here, yeah, over here. I just like pasted that here, and then I pushed it to Git and then deployed it, and everything was working now just like how it is over here. So that was like how I just went about using GPT for the portfolio with like zero coding knowledge, right? So imagine, let's say, if I wanted to work with a developer, for instance, how long it would have been. And this entire thing actually didn't take me more than like a week to do. And the week is because I was actually being lazy, and I also had like other things that I was prioritizing over the portfolio project. But then if you kind of like just pick a day or something, you can be easily able to run something like this in from scratch to like to deployment with no challenges at all. Right. So this is how like I was able to set everything up in VS Code, Git, and also Vercel. Yes, with the help of ChatGPT. Right. The next one that I'll do is just basically going to be the same stuff, but then it's for Xcode. So this one here is like a current project that I'm working on. Oh, and before I forget, with with this one, there would have been like a better way to organize the project and everything, and using like a different framework or something, right? But I I just wanted something very basic that I could use, to push the work that I have out there. So everything here was just basic, no use of components or anything like that. If I actually like go through the code, you could see a lot of repetition here. So these things, oh, this one for instance, I just like repeated it like 7 times. Every other thing was basically just a repetition. Right, but I could have asked it to create like a component, and to make at least the code or the project um easier to go through, right? So that's also like something I can keep in mind if you want to make it proper, right? That's also something I can keep in mind. But for this one, I just wanted something scrappy, so I wasn't really like bothered with how the code worked. As long as it worked, that's the only thing I needed to know, right? And this one here is the Pomodoro app that I was talking about. So for this one too, I was designing it in here. So I was designing it in Figma, right? So I just designed like a couple of screens that I wanted to use to illustrate the idea. And after doing this, I just asked ChatGPT, yeah. So I basically just asked it to help me build the project. Right. This is also like the same idea, just me prompting it here and there to help me set up the project. But this one, since I already have like some basic knowledge of SwiftUI, I didn't need to ask it from like I didn't need to ask it to help me set it up from the perspective of a complete beginner, right? But I could have done that as well. So this one too was like the same thing. I was just trying to do some stuff on my own, and then after I did it, I was like, okay, you know what, just help me run this thing here. I think this one was me when I wanted to debug some um debug the code, because I did something and it wasn't working. I just wanted to like ask it for help, right? So that's what I did, and I just like started using it through and through. So for this one in particular, I was trying to build it in a proper way with like components and everything. So I started creating like a component for the primary button, a component for the secondary button. I could do the same too for like the font sizes and all those things, right? But I didn't want to go too much into it. So for this one, for instance, this one in particular, I'm not done, right? But then the idea is that I would use GPT to actually code the project from scratch, and then once once I get it done, then I can actually like push it to test flight, and then eventually to the app store. Right, but this all these things, for instance, most of them I just did them with GPT, and I was also copying the stuff from here, from the Figma dev mode too. So sometimes I'll just like copy this code and then input it in ChatGPT to generate some stuff for me. So, but if I click this one, friends, if I click the start timer, you see that it starts going. Right, I can pause the timer and then resume it. I can also take a break and then it's going to jump to the 5 minute timer. And all these things, like everything here, was basically just done with me prompting ChatGPT to give me results that I can use to I can use in the project, right? So this one too, it works the same way. If you have like zero coding knowledge, you can use ChatGPT to build your own mobile apps, and then once you're done, you can ask it for help on how to set up. Let's say if it's iOS, for example, and want to push it to App Store, how to set up your iOS developer account, and then once you set it up, how to push the app to App Store or test flight, right? So basically, once you just have some time, you can use ChatGPT. I know people use Claude and Kesa AI and all that, but then I'm using ChatGPT just because that's like that's the common one that everyone knows of. I'm pretty sure the rest are also equally powerful as well. But then instead of right now, for me, once I get an idea and I design it in Figma, I'm not really stressed about trying to find someone to help me build it because I know that I can use ChatGPT to build it right. The next one that I'll show is that one is actually fully built. Yeah, which one is it? Give me a second. Okay, open the wrong one. Okay, cool. So that's the sound files. Yeah, so this one too was the same thing. Designed I designed it in oh now I have a lot. So I designed it in Figma here. Okay, it's actually in Playground. So I designed it in Figma, just like the basic flow that I had in mind. So I did everything here, and once I was done, I just jumped into ChatGPT to help me build it, right? So I started, and then I was just telling it what I wanted to do, right? So this one, since it's a mobile app, I was starting all the way from like the very beginning, the splash screen or the launch screen, and then I copied the code from. Like I switched to dev mode, and then I was just copying the code that it would give me. So if I come here and I copy this code, I'll just like copy everything here, paste it in ChatGPT, and then prompt it to help me get some results. But also something to note in here is that if you look at this particular side here, it has like dots in the curly braces. So this particular one, it has a dot because it doesn't show. The dot is basically a representation of the element inside. If they are like nested elements inside the frame, for instance, right? For this particular frame, it has nested elements. So the elements could be this text here, and the text has its own properties. So it's not showing everything, the text and everything here. That's why it's using the dots. So for that one, you kind of have to take your time and then run it from inside out ish in a way, right? So the inside out here is like, maybe I'll start with the text here, I'll copy the text information, I'll do like the background or what, however it is that you'd want to do, you kind of like just pick it up from there. So maybe I could start with the background here and then I'll copy this information, right? So if I copy everything here, I know that, okay, cool, this is like the parent element, and then I'll dive into the parent element and then set up the child, and then I'll dive into that child, set up the grandchild, and all that. So that's also like something I should keep in mind when you're looking at the code snippets from Figma, right? So this one, I was basically just prompting it to help me out, and I just wanted to add like some sound effects and everything. Let me see if the sound is working here. So if as I'm playing here, you can see that. I don't know. Can you hear the sound as well? So I was just prompting it to get the project done, right? So if you have some ideas and you just want to do some quick prototypes, right? You don't need to wait for any developer, or you don't need to like go fight anyone. You can just pick this up and then use GPT to prototype the idea for whatever it is. It could be in your 9 to 5 work, it could be side projects, it could be anything at all that you want to do, right? You could just like use GPT to run it. Very, very simple. So I wanted to do something, but I don't know why that thing makes no sense. Okay, so let me see if I can do a new chat thingy, and then okay, where's it? Yes, this one. Website. Where is it? Is this the website? Yes, so let's pretend this is the website. Right. So if I have this thing here and I want to build it right, I would go through this one. I want to walk through like how I'll build it live on here. So if like if anyone is interested and you want to see, you can just let me know if we have time, right? I can walk through, because me, I have time. I don't know about you guys. So are we? Does everyone here have time? So I could just like do. Okay. Cool. Cool. Let's see. This one I haven't done it. I haven't tried this one at all. So I'm just hoping it works. If it doesn't work, let's see who can kill me. All right. So I have a website designed in Figma, and build it. Right. In VS Code using HTML, CSS, Java, yeah, Tailwind. Okay. Beginner with zero coding knowledge, right? Help me with step by step instructions on how to set up the project. In VS Code. Alright. So let's see here. Okay, so this is how like I would essentially start it if I have zero knowledge on how to on about recording at all, right? Like nothing at all. This is how I would go about it. And as you can see now, it's just giving me instructions on how to set up the project. Right, everything from downloading VS Code all the way to the file structure. So now that it's done, I'll just look through. So I already have VS Code installed, so I'm just going to skip that. But if I didn't, it'll bring me here, and then I'll download VS Code for Mac. Alright, install it and then run it. Alright, so now I have to come to my desktop and create a folder. Alright, give me a second or okay. So I'm telling me right, it's click and open. Okay, so I need to open the file in here. New window here. Open. Yeah, open. Right, so I've opened the projects now. So let's see what's next. Usually I just like do split screen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so usually I do split screen just so it's easier for me to navigate around or see what I'm doing. Okay. So index.html. New file style.css. Good. Okay, now Tailwind. So step 4 here, open, paste this guy here. Telling me with the body, so I'll just copy that and then paste that here. I hope I'm copying the right thing. Styles of CSS. Okay. The scripts here. Okay, so double click. Okay, so this is what we have here. This is what we have here for the project so far. Alright, I'll just come here, copy this link and paste it here so it's easier to see. Alright, so this is what we have here so far. Alright, let me move this guy down. Okay. Alright. So right from the jump we have a 2-column layout, right, left and right. So the left side contains the text and then the right side contains an image. So what I will do is I will just start with the left side. Right. Everything works so far. Right. I don't know why sometimes I like to talk to you like this, but I don't know if it helps or not. So if anyone has like better ways they prompt, their AI, I beg let me know, so that I can steal your stuff and add it to mine. So 2-column layout. Let's see what's going to say. One other thing that I like here is that it also gives you like an explanation as well to some of the things that you see here. Because as a beginner, you understand what is happening here, so basically it just gives you the explanation down here, which is also like very good, very, very good. Alright, so as usual, I will come here, copy the code, and then paste it here in this main thing. Because let's see, update the step 1 is to update the index.html file, which is this very one. This is where we are, right? In the main tag, create a div to do that. So that's what we have here. So I'm just going to copy it and then replace it with this main tag, because in the index.html file, that's the only main tag that we have so far. So I'll copy and paste. Right, and I know where the left column is and where the right column is, right? And also in these ones, it has already created let's say the right side, for instance, I said it's an image, right? So it has already given me the image here, which is cool. Let's see if I refresh. Yeah. Okay. If I refresh. Okay, so this is what it has for me, right? It has created a 2-column layout, the left side and then the right side, which has the image. So we are on the right track. Now for the left stuff here, let's break it down. We have a logo and some text and a badge, right? that says coming soon. So over what I'll do is, let's see. Let me just switch and try CSS. Okay. I will need a color code for this guy. So let me just, or should I treat it as an image? Or should I treat it as a, no, I'll treat this as a circle instead. Left column. So I'm trying to start with the left column first, and then once I'm done, I'll update the image for the right column here, right? And then we'll also work on the footer. So the left column has this circle with dimensions 44 px by 44 px and color of hashtag right. I think it's 16 pixels, right? 16 pixels below it is a text. Now let's switch here to copy. Let me copy the width as well. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this should work. Okay, so once again, it's giving me like a breakdown of or it's basically explaining the code block here. Right. And it's also telling me how to even set up the fonts as well. So once again, we'll do a step-by-step thing. And then I'll just copy this and paste that here. I keep forgetting how to. I know in Swift there's a way to actually line up just like. Is there a way I can just reorder or align everything here? Does anyone know any shortcut?
Can you ask the question again?
Yeah, so Swift has this shortcut for cleaning up the code, right? So before this was how, let's say when I pasted the code, this is how it was, but it's out of place. So Swift
Uh,
has this command for like
um,
Control
do
I.
you have do you have PTR installed?
No.
Go to the extension.
Okay.
Yeah, PTR. Yeah, pretty. No,
Pretty.
prettier.
Oh, okay, okay.
Not prettier, as in,
Like this.
yeah, prettier, prettier. Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
Install this. So go back to your code.
Mm-hmm.
Um, go to your search.
Over here.
Yeah, type format. No, go back. Just go to the normal side.
All right.
The bottom there, where
This one.
prettier is at the bottom.
Okay, yeah,
No,
down here.
bottom. Click on it. Yeah, this is installed. So I go to your settings and let's do the format on save.
Okay. Some settings. Proper.
Yeah, do click format. Let me say click type format.
Okay.
Yeah, default formatter. So change the none to prettier.
Yeah, I can't see it here. Sorry, I'm half blind, so
Yeah, prettier is there. Yeah,
yeah.
cool. Check format on save so that whenever I click command S,
Okay.
then do format on paste also.
Okay.
Cool. So go back to your code and then save. Nice.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right.
So now here I have to copy my font and paste that here. Right. So so far let me see if this is working. Yeah, the text is here but the image isn't. The circle isn't showing. Okay. Why is the circle not showing? Why is the circle not showing? Okay, let's see. Okay.
Wait, did you install Tailwind in the beginning?
It's already installed on the PC, so I'm not installing it here. It also didn't even give me instructions on how to install that as well. So let's just see. This is it, right? Okay. Oh, then yeah. Okay. And then let me come here and edit this guy here. Let's see. Work or work is though. That's weird. Okay, so let me see. Remove this guy paste and see if this will work. Okay, why does this thing want to disgrace me today? This thing wants to disgrace me today.
But is any of the CSS applying to any of the, like, for example, the text?
I actually haven't. Let me check the text color.
So see if you've actually linked your CSS to the HTML.
Well, this one won't give me. Eh, giraffe. See, every oh god, even arc.
What do you want to
Even
do?
arc is flexing. Even arc is flexing me. I just wanted to check the text color. So it is not. See over here is the color is showing here, but that's not the color that's showing.
That's not the color you defined.
Yeah.
I'll say if go to the top of your CSS of your HTML.
Okay.
Is your script linked?
Yeah.
Oh, so what is it?
So
How did you define the fonts for the text?
I actually haven't done that one yet.
Try it and let's just make sure the CSS works before you spend the rest of the time.
Okay, let's see. Okay. What did I even copy? Where did I get the? Yeah, I'm not going to use SF, but I'm going to use a different font. I want to use a web font. I haven't tried it before. Let's switch the font from SF. Or is it SF Pro rounded? Rounded to system font to the default system font. Okay, so we have things that I have to change now. Alright. Let's see. Let me copy this guy. And then. Oh, huh.
Do Option Z
Coming on.
to wrap the text.
So let's just move here. Let me just move this guy in here. Alright. So, okay, let's save you. Save all. Let me run and see. Ah, I think it has changed. No. Okay, none of them are working. Yep, it has changed now to default. I want to use, I'm using 20. Let's make it 32. You know, let me make it 40 instead. Make it 40 just to. Yeah. Why is it not working at all? This is so weird. Yeah, today they my enemies
What's
after
not
me.
working?
The font isn't working.
Right, what's not? The
The
font?
yeah.
I think the font type is not rendering, or
Yeah, even I've changed the font size to but it's not reflecting. So far
Can't we
nothing
just call the
is
font in the CSS root?
working. I want to I can right I want to do this thing instead of like I want to use this guy, this bad boy here to fix everything that's happening here.
Okay.
I think this is where Claude, what is better for this thing? It's the way it renders the code on the right. So it says exactly what it's doing before you copy.
Yeah,
Unlike this one where you copy blindly, can paste, and then later find out that it's not working.
yeah, I actually have like I've tried that. Okay, I haven't tried. It's Kesa that I tried, and Kesa also like embeds nicely into the code editor. But I want to make this one like beginner friendly as much as possible because most people use GPT, right? So that's actually also why I'm trying to use this one just so it's much easier for everyone. And let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so essentially this is what I'll come and do, and then paste, save. So I saved. Let's see. Okay, so this one is working here, but why is the font size not working? Hey, I think instead of the circle, I'll just use the image. Alright? Make an image instead. Oh, I forgot to paste that thing. Okay, okay, it's actually done it. Okay, so let's copy Jeff in. What was it? Let's copy and then paste for the left column here. Let's see what we get. Okay, so now I'll just have to copy the image and then paste it here. Okay, how do I add the feedback the image to the project? Alright. So I need to create a folder. Images. Okay. Okay. What was the Figma? Oh. Way too far. Okay. So I'll just export this one very quickly. Let me do one. Export it into images. Okay. So over here it has generated the code that I need. So once again, I'll just copy this here and then replace it with this one. Okay. Right, and then the image is logo.png. So I've saved it already. The project is running and now it's showing here. Alright, so essentially this left side is almost done. Now I just need to add this particular one here and then we'll be done with the left side. So the text it's in a container. So I'll mention like the text information and then the okay. I think maybe that was my issue. Right. There's a badge, right? So text. Coming soon. Text with the following properties. Okay, this one has to be a system font. The text is in a container with the following properties. Right. So then I'll switch back here to copy. That's weird. This isn't for. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Jeff. How far, my boss?
Yo, you didn't hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
As we finish where you come.
Easy.
As we didn't finish where you come.
Oh,
This boy.
right now I see the link, oh, Nana. Wait, I the
You
one
know
base
it.
why you know go use the image, like get an image of the home screen and just make it generate code give you. So say it go be easy that way. Or
Yeah,
there's a direction to this.
I tried that one, but then sometimes I know they work for me. That one it will be a bit long-ish in a way.
Oh, okay.
No, I want to like I'll go try that though, cause I see yesterday like this, I see one for the user V0 phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you generate the image, and then it gives you what you need. Okay, I think we are done with that side. So now let me save this as the image for the right side. Hero image. Okay. Great. We are done. Now let's move to the right column. Alright. It has the image properties, right? Let me see if I copy. Okay. Properties. Okay. So now instead of just generating that bit of code for me, it's also implementing it in the entire project. Which isn't bad. So I can come here again, just copy this whole block. And I need to fix the image because it's capital. let's save and see. Good. So we are on track. Essentially, now we have the image on the right side and then the text on the left side. Now I just need to center the content on the screen. So let's do that. Oh, they're telling me it's not going to prompt again because I've reached my limits. That's just sad. That's just very,
You
very
like rating.
that's just very, very sad.
Pay for
No,
him.
but
Pay for him.
pay for
Then the man,
Pay for
We are
him.
waiting for you. Just wait.
then the
Just
man.
pay, just
You can stop sharing.
You
Go and pay.
know
You
what?
go and pay.
I'll just switch since I've
We have
I'll
Go
just
pay for him.
I'll just go switch since I have to continue. Right? So oh god, these people. Okay, great. Great. Want the left column, the height, right? The to fill the you know what? See the maximum height, right? And also the content should be in the center, in the middle of the column. How do I even explain this thing for it to make sense? Of the,
vertically centered.
yeah, good. Seems need to be vertically centered on the screen, right? Here's the code block for the left column. Huh, I copied the wrong one. Oh, okay, yeah, there's more down here. Yay! Let's see. Okay, hopefully this should work. Oh, I've copied it now, and this is the block. So I paste it, I save it, then I'll come back and check it. Okay, good, 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 good. It is working. Alright, so now we're on track. Now I just need to move the big blue thingy at the top. Where did I even find? Yeah. Should I comment it out or should I just remove it?
Comment them.
How do I even comment it?
You could do asterisks.
Yeah, for the front here, right?
You GM. Hey, gotcha.
Yeah, then I already select them. Alpha.
you see highlights, then just do the command /
At the bring. Hey, sorry, I bring SwiftUI stuff. Come here.
Hey, behave yourself.
Good. You see, so basically now we finish this thing here. This thing here is done. I just need to change the footer. Then that is it. Okay. Okay, Cool. Now I need to work on the footer. It's in two parts, a left side and a right side. We have LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. So don't you just love technology? So now I'll copy again and then just paste. Sheesh. Okay, yeah. Right. Let's remove the background color and make the text gray. So you see, this is it. Oh, so far so good. Right. So if I want to, or not even if I want to. So imagine like this one where I was sitting here waiting for someone to come and do it for me. Now I'll now have to kind of like fight them on this and that, just do this whole long thing up and down, try to chase them to do the work. But in a couple of minutes, I've been able to design the basic page layout and every other thing. I've been able to build it, using like ChatGPT. Very, very basic, just done here. Right. If I want to take it further, I can do like pushing to Git and then deploying it on Vessel. I don't know